I genuinely think that being trans is a blessing. I say this all the time because it filters out people in your life that you will never need. It's a filter for all the toxic people in your life. It just pushes them away. You're not gonna need these people. These people are just filled with hate. When you're trans and you outwardly express, hey, I'm trans, or you finally come out and like, hey, this is me. I realize I'm trans, I'm coming out. People will hate that. And when people hate that, you know that these people aren't your friends. These people are not your friends, they're your enemies. They want to see you go down. They don't want to see you succeed. When they see you being yourself, they don't want you around. They hate you for being yourself. And this is why I always tell my friends, I'm like, being trans is a blessing. I tell my therapist this all the time too. And I'm like, I love that I'm trans. I used to not like being trans because I realized, oh no, the world hates me. My life is so much harder now because I'm trans. But now I see, because I've grown up, I've learned, I've built this mental toughness inside of me and this confidence. And now I see, oh my gosh, being trans, I should own this. I want to own being trans because this is me. I can't change it. You have to come to terms with not being able to be cis, not being able to live the life that you imagined that you could have had. We never had that life. We never had a chance of being cis. This is a fantasy that we do need to break out of. And we need to accept that we're trans. I'm saying this again, I'm repeating myself, but I genuinely think being trans is a blessing. You will see there are so many people in your life that you'll brush away because you don't need them in your life. They're gonna come off as your friends. They're gonna pretend that they're your friends, but then when you come out, they're gonna show their true colors. And that's when you know, like, hey, don't need these people anymore. I don't care if you rely on them. I don't care if they're your parents. They're actively bullying you, and you're sitting there and taking it. Why? Why? You deserve better. You literally deserve better. And like, just because you were friends with someone for so long, just because you grew a close bond with someone, but then you realize you were trans and that just fizzled the bond, it shows their true colors. They're telling you right there in your face, they don't like you. A true friend would be there for you. They would celebrate you. They would be happy that you found yourself. Someone who doesn't like you, they're telling you what they don't like. They don't like you because they don't like themselves. The only reason why people are hateful towards others is because they're insecure, they hate themselves, and they're just little babies. They failed in first grade kindergarten empathy classes, okay? Like, it's not that hard to learn. I had a friend, we were friends from first grade all the way to 12th grade, which, if you don't know, that is 12 years of your life. From when I was 6 years old all the way to when I turned 18, I was friends with this kid. This entire time I didn't know I was trans, and we were best friends. We were always there for each other. We always made jokes, we always hung out. I slept over at his place, he slept over at mine. Like, we built this such a great relationship. I am acknowledging that we did have great times in the past, but then when I had came out and I was like, hey, I'm really nervous to tell you this. And I want to get into that. I want to get into why I was nervous. But I told him, hey, I'm really nervous to tell you this. I'm trans. When I realized I was trans, I had like ghosted him for about a year. And I had to muster up the courage to come out to him and to tell him I'm trans. Do you know how stupid that is? Why do I need someone in my life that I need to muster up the courage to tell them I'm trans? That is so stupid, because a good friend would love you no matter what. A good friend would not make you question if you're still going to be friends when they know you're trans. A good friend will celebrate you. A good friend, you won't be scared to tell them you're trans because you know that they'll support you. But this friend I had, we were 12 years of best friends, literally best friends. We felt like, oh wow, we could grow up together. We want to be old together. We had all these dreams together. And I told him, hey, I'm trans. He was like, okay, that's fine. I don't care, which is not a bad response. But I still left him because I realized, wait a minute. It's terrible that I feel scared to come out to him. I should already know that I'll be accepted no matter what. I should already know this. And the fact that I'm scared to come out to him tells me everything. Do you want to know why I was scared to come out to him? When I was experimenting with my gender identity, I used to cross-dress. And I would do this thing, I would be like, hey, look at me, I'm doing this thing for content, for funny jokes, for laughs. Look at me, laugh at me, ha ha ha, so funny. Every time I cross-dressed, I enjoyed it. I did it because I enjoyed it. And every time I wanted to show off, like, look what I am. Look at me. I look so beautiful. He made it a joke, but the joke was me. Honey, the joke was me. I was the joke. I was the laughing stock. He was like, you look ridiculous. You look so silly. Why are you doing this? Why are you dressing up like a girl? And then I come out to him and he's like, okay, yeah, that's fine that you're trans. He showed his true colors. Because he said it was okay, because my friend said he was fine with me being trans, doesn't actually mean that he's actually fine with me being trans. I say this all the time, talk is cheap. I want to see your actions. What do? How do you make me feel? How do you show up for me? How do you support me? That's what I want to see. For the people that are scared to lose a friend, look, I'm going to tell it to you straight, okay? I'm going to tell it to you queer. People come and go. There's 8 billion people on this planet. You can find a replacement, honey. I know that sounds harsh, that it's a harsh way to put it, but genuinely, just because you're friends with this one person doesn't mean that they have access to your entire life now. Just because you're friends for like 5 years and you're best friends, it doesn't mean that they get to be with you all the way until you die. If we allowed that to happen, then we would just be constantly stuck in our old ways, not growing. We would be the same person the entire lifetime. We have to let go of people to grow. If you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Emily. I post self-help videos for the trans women because I think we desperately need it. Even if you're not trans, I believe that this channel will be helpful for you because you can learn a lot. Because I want to see other trans women grow. I want to see other trans women succeed. I want them to gain my confidence. I want to see them have my confidence. I want to see you have my confidence. If you resonate with anything that I'm saying, subscribe, like, comment, anything to promote me, to help me out, to help another trans sister out. My second point that I have to make is to let go of abusive parents. I feel like every single trans person I've talked to, either on the internet or in real life, they've always had some abusive parent or parental problems in their life. It is very rare that I see trans parents appreciating and supporting their trans children. Like, it does happen. I've seen instances of this happening. But a majority of the people that I speak to that are trans, they have trouble with their parents. Can we grow from that, please? I find you always constantly going back to them, always constantly asking them for advice, always constantly having them as your parent. You're relying on them. You're treating them as the all-knowing figure. Just because they're older than you doesn't mean that they have their experience. These abusive parents who are frankly bullies, just because they've lived longer doesn't mean that they're an authority figure in your life. It doesn't mean that they know the answers to your life. It doesn't mean that they can help you. Frankly, they don't. They don't help you, and you need to recognize that. Abusive parents thrive on manipulation, gaslighting, and making you feel terrible. They drain your energy. They suck it all. And they're doing this on purpose. The reason why you feel terrible every morning when you wake up, it's because of them. It's because you listen to them. It's because you let their words affect your mind. So many trans people that I meet rely on their parents. And I hate that. I genuinely hate that because what are you doing? These parents that you rely on that are abusive towards you, why are you relying on them? Why are you relying on these people who hate you, who want to see the old you, who doesn't want you to transition? They want you to detransition. Why do you rely on these people? Just because they're your parents, you think that you owe them their opinions, their respect? You think you owe them anything? Honey, when they start treating you badly, you don't owe them anything. These are terrible people. It bothers me every single time that a trans person asks for advice from these bullies. Because why? You're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself. You're taking the knife and you're stabbing it in your foot. You're sabotaging yourself by asking these people who want nothing more than the worst for you. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you be truly happy. And you're asking advice from these people? Honey, get a grip of yourself. You look delusional. The reason why you depend on them is because they made it that way. They control your life. They control your thinking, what you feel like you can achieve. They humble you in ways that you should not be humbled. They tell you you can't do this, you can't do that. Oh, don't go to this place. Oh, I don't want to see you going to this doctor. Oh, I don't want to see you taking these pills. Stop relying on these people. They're jealous of you. They don't want to see you succeed. They want you to still be trapped. They want to still have that power over you so they can keep hurting you and abusing you. Like, it's a cycle and you're in it. You're in the whirlpool. You're not coming out of it. The abusers are laughing at you because you're the joke. I'm hearing myself speak. And I hope you are too, because it sounds insane when I say it out loud that these abusers are making you feel terrible and you feel terrible about yourself. And you're the joke. You're trapped in this cycle because you allow them to. You listen to what they say. You take their words into consideration. And these people don't like you. And they may present themselves as they do like you, but do their actions tell you they do? I bet you their actions say otherwise. Just because they're your parents, it does not mean that they have to be educated. You can try your best to educate them, but if they don't learn, they don't learn. That is their issue. You can't fix them. You can try to be like, oh, maybe they don't like me because of something I did. Oh, maybe they don't like me because of this thing, so let me fix that. Why are you fixing yourself? Don't fix yourself from them. Whatever you do, they're still going to find something to nitpick at you, to degrade you, to tell you no. They will still find some other reason to put you down. No matter how many times you try to live up to their expectations, you will never live up to their expectations. I've lived this life, honey. I've lived it. I was trapped in the cycle. Every morning I felt terrible about myself, and I realized, wait a minute. The only reason why I'm feeling terrible, even though I'm trans and I'm transitioning, I'm a year in on my HRT journey, why do I feel terrible? It's because they're doing this. When my parents leave my house, I feel so happy. I feel like I can take over the world. When I'm outside, when I'm away from them, I feel like I can achieve anything. And then when I'm around them, my energy drops. I feel terrible. I feel my happiness slowly fade away. These people are toxic. You feel terrible around them. And that's your body telling you that these people are toxic. This is all on purpose. This is part of their abuse. It's part of their psychological abuse. And when I had realized that the only reason why I was feeling so terrible about myself every time I was around my parents, I realized it was because of them. I had said to myself, okay, don't take their words to heart at all. Don't listen to them. You can pretend, be like, yes, okay, yeah. You can yes them, but don't listen to them. Ignore them. Because the moment you start taking their words into consideration, you start feeling so terrible about yourself. And the moment you stop caring, you feel so happy. You feel like you can take over this planet. You feel like my sense of confidence. Like you feel so happy. You start to question yourself and you think you're being arrogant or naive or narcissistic. But no, it's because you're finally finding yourself. You finally feel happy. And when you've been living an entire life that you've been constantly feeling down about yourself, either because of gender dysphoria, being abused, being psychologically abused, and then the moment that you break free and you appreciate yourself and you're so happy, now you're giving yourself all this opportunity to feel happy, and you start to question, am I a narcissist? Am I just talking about myself too much? I shouldn't feel this happy. No, you should. You should feel this happy. You should feel extravagant. You should feel amazing. You should feel beautiful. And it's you breaking out of your shell. It's you opening up. You're getting out of the cocoon, honey. You're spreading your wings. You're the butterfly. You're flying away from the abuse. You're not tied down to the ground anymore. You're flying high in the sky. You can educate them. Like if you think, oh, maybe they just don't know a lot on trans topics, that I need to educate them. You can try to. Give them the resources. Tell them about this, talk to them. But when they don't listen, when they don't try to fix themselves, when they aren't being respectful towards you, that's telling you everything you need to know. You've done your part. But when they still are acting the same, they're not going to change. The only way that they can change is if they want to change. You cannot instill that change in them. They have to instill it in themselves. Good parents are mindful of your transition. Good parents want to see you succeed. Good parents are mindful of you. Good parents respect you. Good parents want to see you transition. Good parents want to see the woman that you're becoming. Good parents support you either financially, medically, or emotionally. Good parents support you. Good parents don't make you feel bad. Good parents don't make you question, oh, we have a love-hate relationship going on. Good parents don't make you feel that. When you have good parents, you know you can always rely on them. And if you can't, that tells you every single thing that you need to know. Your gut is telling you everything. Listen to her. Don't listen to your brain. Your brain is clouding up because your brain has been abused by people. Your brain has been manipulated. Your brain has been gaslit by abusers, by bullies. Don't second guess yourself. Trust your gut, honey. Let me tell you a common pitfall that I always see trans people struggle with. It also happens with me, okay? You might have parents that seem supportive to you, that they want to see you transition. You talk to them, you've educated them, they're like, okay, yes, it feels fine. But whenever you start talking about medication, taking pills, HRT, they show you their true colors. They tell you, I don't like that you're on these pills. They tell you, I don't want you to be on pills for the rest of your life. They tell you, why do you need pills? You're fine the way you are. Translation, let me translate between the lines here. They're telling you they want you to detransition. Let that sink in. If you had good parents, they wouldn't say these things. They wouldn't tell you that you need to be off the pills to live your life. They wouldn't tell you that they don't like you being on HRT pills. They wouldn't tell you that it's wrong to be taking medication your entire life. If parents talk about the past you and talk about, oh, I think you should be off these pills, they're telling you everything you need to know. Listen to them. They want you to detransition. They want the old person. You know what they want? They want a little boy. They want a little boy who's scared, who's been manipulated, who felt gender dysphoric, who felt like he couldn't do anything. They want a depressed boy so then they can use and abuse. They don't want to see you flying with colors, spreading out your wings, flapping away like a butterfly. They don't want to see you do that. It's a common pitfall that I see trans people making excuses for their own parents, for their own abusive parents. No. Cut them out of your life, honey. You don't need them. Gone. And if you have parents who still struggle to treat you as you, and they're treating you as like a boy or dead naming you or misgendering you, cut them out. You don't need them. You literally do not need them. Do not let them disrespect you like that. If they dead name you, if they misgender you, if they treat you like a boy when you're a girl, don't take that disrespect. I don't mean like go yell at them. I mean like, don't give them grace. Don't give them the benefit of the doubt. Don't take their words to heart and listen to them. Don't. You are hurting yourself by listening to these people. If these people were not your parents and they were just random comments online, would you listen to them? No, they're just random comments online. These people are the same way. It's just coming from their mouth. My third point is to let go of familiarity. Now that we've discussed about letting go of toxic friends, parents, you might find it hard to let them go because it is familiar to you. It is familiar for you to hang out with these people. It is familiar to have these people in your life. Our brains crave familiarity. They want to be around the same routines, the same things that are happening in our lives because it's safe, because we know what's going to happen. We already know it. We've lived it. We've experienced it. But the sad thing is, even though our brain likes familiarity, it's keeping us stuck. We're not growing. And if you want to evolve and to achieve more, you have to take risks. People say this all the time, take risks. If you want to meet new people, you have to go out to places. You have to take that risk of meeting new people and putting yourself out there. If you want to date new people, you have to meet new people. You have to put yourself out there. You have to take a risk to put yourself out there. Get used to being unfamiliar. Take the risks. Take the things that make you feel uncomfortable. When we're doing things that are not familiar to us, we get uncomfortable. We're scared. We don't know what's going to happen. We feel anxious. But that's when we grow the most. You see, the reason why we get so addicted to fictional characters that are going on these epic journeys in growth and self-discovery in saving planets or accomplishing huge feats, they're not doing it because it's familiar to them. Frankly, the complete opposite. They're forced on these journeys either by choice or by force, and the entire process is unfamiliar to them. The entire journey is unfamiliar to them, but we get addicted to these people. They're trailblazing. They're doing something that's never been done before. They're achieving their own goals because they're taking the steps. They're always putting themselves out there and doing the scary things. They're doing the unpredictable. They don't know what's going to happen in the future, yet they still try. And they achieve. They always achieve. And even if they don't, they They grew so much. If they didn't try to do any of that, they would be down here. But because they tried, they grew up, they went all the way up here, okay? Shoot for the moon. If you miss, you're gonna reach the stars. I live by that saying. If I don't make it, I have all this other experience that I've done. I've learned, I've grown so much. You can do the same. I know you can. I definitely know you can. Things will always work out. You have to believe in yourself. Just because you didn't achieve this one goal, it doesn't mean it was all for nothing. You learn and you grew so much. You're a completely different person than you were than the person who didn't take the risk. I want you to let go of friends that are not serving you. I want you to let go of family members that are hurting you. Anybody who's hurting you, who's not serving you, who's not making you learn, who's not making you grow, you don't need these people in your life. Let them go. Even if they're nice people. I have a friend, and I had to cut off contact with them because I realized by being in this friendship with them, I'm not growing. I'm being the same person. I outgrew the friendship because I deserve more. I realized I deserve more. And by letting myself be in this friendship, I'm only limiting myself. Because yes, it's scary because once you're cutting people off, you think it's the end of the world. But I'm telling you, when you cut people off, you have extra energy to meet new people. Because when I cut off my friend, immediately the next day I needed help and I had called one of my friends that I didn't know if we were even close. I called them up and be like, hey, can I crash at your place for a bit? And they were like, yes, for sure. And they pulled through, they helped me. And I realized, wait a minute, no, we have a closer connection than I had originally thought. And then a few days later, I went to an event and I got so many new friends, so many new contacts. And literally, I have a best friend now who's always going to be there for me and who even offered me a place to stay and to crash forever, how long ever I need. I have these opportunities presented to me because I took the initiative and I had to take the risk of cutting off a friend who was keeping me stuck. I felt like by being friends with them, I was still in my old ways. It is not their fault. They were a great person. I just outgrew it. Just because you're friends with someone and you're best friends, it doesn't mean that you can be best friends for your entire life. They don't get access to your entire life. People come and people go. It is a sad reality because it's not familiar to us. Because these people that we've grown close with, they're familiar. But then when they leave, they leave. We live life in unfamiliar territory. But that's when we grow the most. Have you ever seen those people who were in the best relationship with someone possible? They were dating them, but then they broke up and they felt completely terrible because they didn't know how to live life without their significant other. But then later on in life, they completely changed. They grew. That is me. This happened to me. You would think, wow, Emily, how do you have so much confidence? How can you just put yourself out there? How can you speak so great and so fluently? How do you speak so well? How do you have so much energy? It's because I focused on myself. I put myself first. I realized I'm worth more. I deserve more. I deserve better. And I want to treat her better. And I am. I am. Life never stops moving. So why should you stop moving? Honestly, if you stop moving, you're degressing. You're not growing. Because the world never stops moving. The world never stops spinning. People never stop growing. And by you stopping and not letting yourself grow, you're actually going backwards. Because people are going far ahead in you and you're not growing. So you're being left behind in the dust. While these people, they're far ahead. They're gone. They're in a different dimension. They've leveled up. I want you to level up. Let me tell you an experience I had. When I had realized I was trans, I cried. I cried because I realized who I am and how tough this world is going to be. I've realized the privilege that I had as a cis straight male. I realized that privilege is gone and that immediately my life would be a lot worse and harder because I'm trans. People will treat me worse because I'm trans. And I had also thought that, oh no, I'm going to have to come out to my parents eventually and tell them, hey, this is happening to me. If I want to become the woman that I see myself becoming, I have to transition. And I'm going to have to tell them. I was so scared because I realized, oh no, they're not going to accept me for being trans. I'm so scared. I rely on these people financially, for a home. I don't want to get kicked out. I don't know where I would go. This is all unfamiliar territory. I'm so scared. And like, that's why I cried. I cried because my life completely changed and I did not expect it. And I thought I could try to suppress it. I thought I could try to hide it from my parents. I thought, you know what? Maybe I can transition without them knowing. I thought maybe I can just grow up, move out of the house, move to a different country, and then start my transition. But by the time I do that, I'm gonna be like 35, 40 years old, and then I'm gonna start my transition. I'll probably be dead by then. I won't love life at all. I know I'll dip down into depression. Because when you know yourself, you can't hide it. Because at a certain point, it gets so taxing and tiring, and enough is enough. You want to take an action, a good one or a bad one. You're forced to do something. I didn't tell my parents for a whole year that I was trans, and I thought maybe I can transition in secret without them knowing. I tried to dress more androgynous, kind of feminine, but it was lots of blacks and stuff. But I tried to dress myself in a way to make myself feel happy in my femininity, but it more so looked androgynous. I had opened myself up to my friends, to people at school, to my professors, and I had told them, hey, this is my new name, these are my new pronouns, and I started acting differently around them and being happier around them. But I couldn't be myself at home, and I didn't want to transition medically or pursue that because I didn't want my parents to know that I'm trans. And by preventing myself from not pursuing medically transitioning, I was only putting myself further back. I wasn't growing, I wasn't progressing, I wasn't leveling up in life. I was keeping myself stagnant. I was not moving at all, and I felt so terrible. I just hated it. And after a whole year of suppressing this identity and trying to conform to what my parents wanted me to be, I really broke down and cried. And I had lost my hope in life because I didn't know how much longer I can take this. I didn't know I couldn't do it. And I realized I need to tell them. I'm so scared right now. They've said bad things about the gay community. So I know their stance. I know how they're going to react. This is all new. This is new territory. I was scared to get thrown out of the house. I thought they would stop supporting me. I thought they would hurt me. I thought they would beat me up. I was scared. I thought I would die. I thought they would cut off my hair because I was growing it long at the time. I had nightmares that I thought they would cut off my hair in my sleep. And this is all completely new territory for me. This is unfamiliar. No one wakes up and they're like, I want to be trans. I want to get hated on by the world. No one's like that. And it's such a scary risk, and you have to take it because at a certain point, you're only limiting yourself. You're the reason you're not leveling up in life. You're the reason you're not transitioning how you want to be. You're the reason you're not becoming the woman that you see yourself. You're not taking the action. You're not cutting off the people. You're still listening to the abusers, to the bullies, to the people who don't support you and want the worst for you. You're still taking in their opinions, their comments. You're letting it slide into your life. You're letting it affect your brain. And at a certain point, you have to say, enough is enough. I need to act. I don't care. Life is fucking scary. And you have to do it anyways. It's unfamiliar. And when you do the unfamiliar, you start to grow. We're scared to let go of the familiar because it keeps us safe. But when we're unfamiliar and we let the unfamiliar happen, we grow. We know what's up. We know how to live. We know how to level up. We know how to grow. We know how to evolve. So please. And when we don't know what's going to happen, our brain assumes the worst. Our brain thinks the worst things are going to happen to us when that's not the case. The worst thing you can do is die. And you're still alive here. You've taken risks before, and you're still alive. Every day I walk out this door, I might get hurt. Some random event might happen that I get caught in the crossfire. That's it. Every day you take a risk. Every day you get into a car to go to work, you're taking a risk. Every time I go on the train, I'm taking a risk. Every time I'm talking to new people, I'm taking a risk. Every time I'm walking home late at night, I'm taking a risk. And I know that's the same for you. Every time you do something, you're taking a risk. And you're still alive today. You're still alive. You still can become the person you've always dreamed of becoming. You still can exceed. You still can grow. The things that we're most fearful of happening, they don't happen. And if they do, you're prepared for it because you've been so scared. You're prepared for it. Don't let your fear stop you. Your fear is stopping you because it's unfamiliar. Learn to evolve. Learn to let go. Being trans in itself is completely unfamiliar. No one wakes up and is like, oh, I know what being trans is. No one is born and has an idea of how trans people are. We're taught, oh, this is boys, this is girls. We don't get taught about being trans. It's unfamiliar. We've not been taught it. We have to learn on our own what it is. We have to learn how to navigate being trans because every single trans journey is different. Being trans in itself, it's a completely unfamiliar experience. No one has the know-all knowledge of what being a trans woman is. You make that up. You can look at me and say, wow, she's so accomplished. Wow, I look up to her. Thank you. But I'm still figuring things out. I'm still learning every day. I'm still growing. By the time you're watching this video, I'm a completely new person. I'm growing. I'm sharing my knowledge. I'm learning what it is to be a trans woman for me, how I present myself as a trans woman, because this is all unfamiliar. I'm learning, I'm growing every day, and I want to see you do that. I want to see you learn. I want to see you grow. I don't want to see you be stuck in life, because when you're stuck, you're not growing. People are growing. People are moving on. You're being left behind in the dust. If you've resonated with anything that I've said, if you felt like I've struck a chord with anything, leave it in the comments below. I want to hear your story because maybe other people are going to be looking at the comments too. They're going to be reading your story. Your story might inspire others. Leave your comments down below. Love to read them. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I love you all so very much. Bye-bye.